In 2005, a tired office worker wrote one sentence in a notebook. Today, millions of people follow the same habit. His name was James Clear, and at that time he was not famous. He was not rich. He was not successful. He was simply a young man trying to improve his life, one small step at a time. But here is the surprising part. That single sentence, written late at night in a small apartment in Columbus, Ohio, would later inspire a global movement about habits and personal growth. Today, James Clear is known around the world for his book Atomic Habits, a book that has sold millions of copies and helped people change their lives through small daily actions. But the journey did not begin with success. It began with struggle, confusion, and one very simple habit. Writing just one sentence every day. It sounds almost too small to matter. But over time, that tiny action changed everything. Have you ever wondered how small habits create big results? And could a simple daily practice change your life and even your English learning? This story will teach you how small habits can create powerful transformation. Our story begins in Hamilton, Ohio, a small American town in the late 1990s and early 2000s. Hamilton was not a famous city. It was quiet, practical, and hardworking. Many families worked in factories, offices, and local businesses. Life moved slowly there. People valued discipline, education, and steady work. In this calm environment, a young boy named James Clear grew up. No one expected that this boy would later influence millions of people across the world. But every great story begins in an ordinary place. James Clear was born in 1986. His parents were supportive and hardworking. They believed strongly in education and responsibility. As a child, James was curious and thoughtful. He liked learning new things, but he was not a perfect student, and he did not always feel confident. He loved sports, especially baseball. Like many young athletes, he dreamed about becoming strong, skilled, and successful. But James was also shy and reflective. He spent time reading, thinking, and observing how people improved their skills. Even as a teenager, he wondered about an important question. Why do some people succeed while others struggle? At that time, he did not know the answer. Initial conditions: James attended Denison University in Ohio. He played baseball for the university team. Sports taught him discipline and teamwork. But life was not always easy. During his early years, James faced serious challenges. One day, during a baseball game, a terrible accident happened. A fast-moving baseball bat struck his face with tremendous force. The injury was severe. His nose was broken. His eyes were damaged. He could not see clearly. Doctors worried about his recovery. For a long time, James could not play sports. He could not live his normal life. He felt frustrated and discouraged. Discouraged means feeling very sad and without hope. Have you ever felt discouraged when learning something difficult? Many English learners feel this way sometimes. James felt the same. Inciting dream, but during this difficult time, James made an important decision. He realized something powerful. Success does not come from one big action. Success comes from small improvements repeated every day. This idea became his new focus. Instead of trying to change everything at once, he began improving tiny parts of his life. He studied better. He trained slowly. He built stronger daily habits. Little by little, he recovered. Little by little, his life improved. But the most important discovery had not yet happened. That discovery would begin with a small daily writing habit. After recovering from his injury, James wanted to rebuild his life. But he did not know where to start. Many people face this problem. They want change, but they do not know the first step. So James started with something simple. He began writing about his experiences. Every Monday and Thursday, he wrote short articles online. At first, almost no one read them. Only a few friends and family members visited his website. Imagine spending hours writing something and only 10 people read it. How would you feel? James sometimes felt disappointed, but he remembered his belief in small improvements. Instead of focusing on popularity, he focused on practice. Practice means repeating an action again and again to improve. Each article became better. Each week, he learned something new. And slowly, something interesting happened. More readers began to appear. James realized writing was a skill, and like any skill, it could improve through consistent practice. Consistent means doing something regularly without stopping. So he created a simple rule. Write 2 articles every week, no excuses, even when he felt tired, even when ideas were difficult. Day after day, James worked on his craft. Craft means a skill that someone develops through careful practice. He studied psychology, productivity, and human behavior. He read books about success and learning. Then he explained these ideas in simple language. His goal was clear: help people understand how habits work. Gradually, his writing improved. Readers began sharing his articles with friends. A small audience became a larger community. Still, success did not arrive overnight. Building a dream always requires sacrifice. Sacrifice means giving up something valuable to achieve a goal. For James, the biggest sacrifice was time. He wrote articles early in the morning. He wrote late at night. Sometimes he wrote when he felt tired or unmotivated. Friends went to parties. James stayed home writing. Others relaxed on weekends. James studied research about behavior and habits. There were moments when he wanted to stop. Moments when progress felt too slow. Have you ever felt like this while learning English? Maybe you study vocabulary every day, but improvement feels small. James experienced the same feeling. But he remembered his philosophy: small improvements become powerful over time. This belief kept him moving forward. One day, something important happened. An influential website shared one of James's articles. Suddenly, thousands of people read his work. His ideas spread quickly across the internet. Readers loved his simple explanation of habit formation. Habit formation means the process of building new habits through repetition. People wrote messages to James. They said his ideas helped them exercise more. They improved their work habits. They even improved their relationships. This feedback changed everything. James realized his writing had real impact. This was the turning point. From this moment, things began to change. Writing a book is a huge challenge. Books require deep research, careful thinking, and months of effort. James spent years studying behavior science. He read academic research. He interviewed experts. He tested ideas in his own life. Finally, in 2018, he published a book called Atomic Habits. The word atomic means extremely small, but atomic also means powerful. The title represented a powerful message. Tiny habits create enormous results. The book explained 4 simple rules for building good habits. Make the habit obvious. Make the habit attractive. Make the habit easy. Make the habit satisfying. Readers immediately connected with these ideas. The book became a bestseller. Soon it was translated into many languages. Millions of people read it around the world. Teachers used it. Athletes used it. Business leaders used it. James Clear had become a global voice in personal development. But success always brings new challenges. When success grows quickly, pressure also grows. People expected James to provide answers for many problems. Some critics questioned his ideas. Critic means someone who examines ideas carefully and sometimes disagrees. James faced difficult questions. Do habits really explain success? Are small improvements enough to change life? Instead of becoming defensive, James remained calm. He studied more research. He improved his explanations. He continued writing thoughtful articles. Most importantly, he stayed loyal to his core message. Focus on small habits. Focus on daily improvement. Gradually, criticism became respect. Experts recognized the clarity of his ideas. Readers continued sharing his work. The movement grew stronger. By 2022, Atomic Habits had sold over 10 million copies. It appeared on bestseller lists in many countries. Companies invited James to teach employees. Professional sports teams used his ideas to train athletes. Universities discussed his research in psychology classes. Millions of people changed their routines. They started exercising. They built better study habits. They improved their health and productivity. All because of one simple idea: small habits matter. James Clear became one of the most respected voices in personal growth. But he never forgot where his journey began. One sentence, written in a notebook, late at night. Today, James continues writing and teaching. His work helps people understand the science of behavior. More importantly, it helps ordinary people believe something powerful. Small actions can create extraordinary change. First, James Clear taught us that small actions matter. When he wrote one short article every week, it seemed insignificant, but those articles eventually reached millions of readers. This principle appears in many areas of life. Exercise becomes easier with small daily practice. Knowledge grows through daily learning. Success rarely appears suddenly. Instead, it grows quietly over time, just like a tree grows slowly from a small seed. Lesson 2. Consistency is more powerful than motivation. Second, James showed the power of consistency. Consistency means repeating an action regularly over a long period. Motivation comes and goes. Some days we feel excited, other days we feel tired. But habits continue even when motivation disappears. James wrote articles whether he felt inspired or not. Because of this consistency, his skills improved. Third, James explained an important psychological idea. Our habits reflect our identity. Identity means how we see ourselves. When James began writing regularly, he started seeing himself as a writer. That identity strengthened his behavior. Similarly, when someone studies English daily, they begin to think, "I am an English learner." Later, they may think, "I am an English speaker." Identity shapes action. Application to English learning. Now consider your English learning journey. Learning a language can feel overwhelming. Grammar rules, vocabulary lists, pronunciation practice. It can seem like too much, but James Clear's lesson provides a powerful solution. Focus on small habits. Maybe you listen to English for 10 minutes every day. Maybe you learn 5 new words daily. Maybe you read one short article each morning. These small habits may seem insignificant, but over months and years, they create powerful improvement. Just like James wrote one sentence, you can build your English ability step by step. Remember the transformation in this story. A young man with no audience started writing simple ideas online. He practiced consistently. He improved slowly. And eventually he influenced millions of people. Your journey may look different, but the principle remains the same. Small daily actions create extraordinary outcomes. You may feel discouraged sometimes. That is normal. Every learner experiences difficulty. But improvement is happening, even when progress feels slow. Trust the process. Trust your small habits. Beyond language learning, this story teaches a universal truth. Success is not reserved for special people. It is built through daily effort. Anyone can create meaningful change. The key is simple. Start small. Stay consistent. Be patient. These principles apply to learning, work, health, and relationships. They apply to life itself. Today, James Clear continues to share ideas about habits and improvement. His book remains one of the most widely read personal development books in the world. Millions of readers continue applying his principles. His message remains simple but powerful. Small habits can change lives. You have just listened to the story of James Clear. But you have also done something important. You have practiced listening to English for many minutes. This is not a small achievement. Every minute of listening strengthens your understanding. Every story you hear builds your vocabulary and confidence. Remember what this story teaches. Small habits create powerful results, so keep listening, keep practicing, and keep improving. Thank you for learning with this story today. If you enjoyed this journey, many more inspiring stories are waiting. Each story can help you improve your English while discovering powerful ideas. Keep learning, keep growing, and perhaps tomorrow you will start one small habit that changes your life. See you in the next story.